drink the coffee. Figure it out. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. For today's video, it's going to be 5 tips, not just for surviving military life, but thriving in it. And these are the tips that I think you need to know as a new or future military spouse. And even myself, these are things that I need to listen to that I don't sometimes, you know? I'm not perfect, only Jesus is. Without further ado, let's just jump into these tips. Number 1, learn how to go with the flow. And for me right now, my husband is currently living on base. He's been living on base for about 8 months now, and he is not even allowed to go off base because of like COVID restrictions and stuff. So because he's been living at the base, there's been a lot of challenges and ups and downs that we've had to deal with. And I've had to learn how to go with the flow. And I say learn because a lot of people say that you have to be patient or you have to be this type of person. I firmly believe that you end up learning as you go. I was definitely one of those people. I was not patient at first. I was very frustrated with life. I just wanted him to get out of the military immediately. Like, I think I'm pretty set on one term right now. You know, sometimes I'm hoo-yah, and then sometimes I'm like hoo-nah. And the last couple days I've kind of been hoo-nah, but that's only because of the base being closed. As it may, your spouse is going to be gone a lot, even when he's home. Now, you're not gonna learn how to go with the flow overnight. I certainly did not. You know, learning how to go with the flow and adapt and change is just so important because things change on a dime, like so fast. We've been expecting for the base to open now for, it was supposed to open by tomorrow, and they actually just posted on Facebook today that it's not going to be changing anytime soon. Because of that, I want to get really frustrated, but I can't. It's not going to change anything. I cannot change the situation. I can only change my attitude towards it. And in the long run, having a positive attitude towards whatever change happens in the military is going to really help your marriage in the long run. But it's important to remember to give yourself grace in the meantime, because you're not always going to go with the flow, even though it's important to do that. It's not always going to happen. So I don't like what I hear sometimes. I cry. I'm just like, no, that's not what I wanted to hear. I want the base to be open. I want you to come home right now. You know, I want my husband to be able to come home so I can cook for him and do regular husband and wife things. And sometimes that's frustrating that I can't do that. So at the end of the day, learning how to go with the flow is important, but also giving yourself grace when you are not super adaptable. Number 2, this one's kind of a hard one for me because I don't really like where I am. So enjoying where you are and focusing on the good, you know, the good things of where you're at. So I'm right now in Pensacola, Florida, and my husband is temporarily stationed at NAS. There are a lot of things I don't like about Pensacola. Okay. Everything is out of the way. Like the closest PetSmart, for example, is 30 minutes away. Honestly, if my husband was able to live off base, it would make this place a lot nicer. But there are a lot of qualities about Pensacola that I do like. Like the beaches are gorgeous. They are extremely warm in the summer. They're beautiful to swim in. It's like the softest sand I have ever stepped in. My little Huscaroni pizza, he loves to like dig in the sand. The South is also such a beautiful place. Like the trees are like intertwining and just so beautiful and interesting, and I would have never seen that in California. Also, the people are super great. So there are some qualities of Pensacola that I do like, and I will always hold a special place in my heart for this place. And if you focus on the good of the place rather than the bad, and just remember that it is temporary, that you will end up moving to the next place, hopefully someplace better, and that you get to really enjoy this new experience and this new culture that you normally wouldn't experience on your own. It just makes life a lot more pleasurable when you do it that way. Okay, this is a really good one. Continue to pursue your own goals or hobbies. For me, I've started a new hobby of a YouTube channel. I also just got a husky. He is taking up so much of my time. I highly recommend getting a dog, like just to keep yourself busy, and not only that, to be able to sleep at night next to him. But yes, I think it's super important to have your own goals or hobbies and sort of like pursue them, because most of the time we're following our husbands around, you know, we're following their career around and all that. I'm lucky enough that with this YouTube thing I can kind of just take it everywhere and roll with it. I do have to actually look into getting a job, but that's another thing. It's important to figure out your own goals and hobbies and to pursue them, so that way when your husband is gone and does come back, you are a better you. You know, when your husband's gone, it's up to you to figure out what you like without him there. When my husband first left for boot camp, it was I was just like, oh my gosh, I did everything with him. He's been my best friend since I was like 12, 11, I don't remember anymore. I'm 27 at this point, so. But yeah, I didn't know what to do without him. I ended up just sitting on the couch, like scrolling all the time and just crying and being sad, and just whenever I got a letter, I would just like read the letter for like 3 hours. I did read the Bible and do sort of things that kept me sane, but it's important not just to be sane, it's important to be happy too. So that way when your husband does come back, they're coming home to a happier you. So number 4 is something that I'm having to do right now, and that is to seek out community. Ooh, this is such an important one. Having people that you can like vent to or just be with, to hang out with is so important. Even just like going to PetSmart for me, like with my doggo and just talking to people or going to the dog park. If you don't have a dog, then obviously you can't do that, but well, you could go to PetSmart. So I had a couple of close friends that were here in Pensacola that made Pensacola so much fun, and they ended up both PCSing. One went to San Diego and one went to Virginia, and I was with them like all day, every day almost. And my husband's roommate's wife, I ended up becoming really close friends with her. We ended up going and getting both of our puppies together. She actually just came with me as support because I was already gonna get my husky, and then we ended up getting puppies together. So it was a super awesome bonding moment. Now that they're both gone, that kind of hit me hard. It was so much easier having that community, and it doesn't even have to be somebody that's a military affiliated as well, but that does make it a lot nicer because they kind of like relate to you and they know what you're going through. But it's important to have people around because we were created to be relational. So important to have those people that you can vent to or just even hang out with if you can't be with your husband. And of course, if you don't have friends right away, just fine, and it's totally normal. So long story short, it is important to seek out community and just people to hang out with. And personally, I know that I have God, but I also need to like physically talk to people as well. This military life can get lonely, and it's important for our mental health to be able to be with other people. My leg keeps falling asleep. So I believe that number 5 is the most important one. Make taking care of yourself a priority. So recently, about a week or 2 ago, I'd say, I have fully committed to this, taking care of myself. Like I've decided to shower every night before I go to bed. It just makes me feel so much better when I wake up in the morning and I'm all fresh and clean. Oral hygiene and physical hygiene and all that good stuff makes you feel so much better. It's honestly like a chore, but taking care of yourself is so important, again, to make you a better you. This is definitely the most important one, and the one that I kind of like push to the wayside sometimes. Well, a lot of the times. In the morning, I will wake up right away and just start taking care of Coda, a little huskaroni, and I'll just kind of go and just sort of take care of him, start washing his food bowls and doing all this stuff, and I'll kind of like forget to brush my teeth or something. Then I'll sort of be in like a grumpy mood because I kind of forgot to take care of me in the process. I'll like forget about myself and want to start like mothering other things. I've realized now that it's okay to take care of myself before I start taking care of Coda. Of course, I'm gonna take him out for a walk or let him go to the bathroom first, but because he's a puppy and he has to go right away. As far as like, I don't need to feed him right away. I don't need to do all these things like right away. It's important for me to wake up, sort of like wash my face and brush my teeth because it makes me feel better. Not only that, but to do a devotional, spend time with God in the morning instead of leaving it to the nighttime because I end up being in a better mood when I take care of me first. It's kind of like they say in the plane to like save yourself and then save others because you can't really help yourself you can't really help others until you help yourself. So even just doing one thing a day to help towards making taking care of yourself a priority can be so beneficial. So those are my 5 tips that I think you need to know as a new/future military spouse for thriving in this military lifestyle. I really hope that they were encouraging to you and giving you some things to think about, really. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one, or you will see me in the next one.
So I gotta pop in. I just gotta pop in.